But it was really hard to think through the situation at the moment. Like, what do I do?
Walk me through last night.
So last night, I'm in the living room with my 2-year-old son, and we're just watching TV. And next thing I know, I hear a loud, like really loud boom, and then the lights go off. Immediately, I'm thinking because of the loud boom, as you can see, my vehicle has hit the house here. I'm thinking someone may have been trying to intrude into my property. So immediately I called my mom. I'm just making sure it's not like a power outage or anything like that, like around the city, because the boom was really loud, like it could have affected a lot of people's power. She said her power wasn't out, so she told me to go ahead and call the police or whatever. I told her that I thought somebody was maybe trying to come in on us. It took me about 2 or 3 minutes to even open up the door. I was afraid to even open up the front door to just see what was going on. I grabbed my weapon, I had my son with me, and then next thing I know, I go outside. There was a young man in this yard over here next door to me. He was by the vehicle on the phone, and he was screaming out that I need an ambulance, I need an ambulance. My brother, he's been shot, he's not gonna make it, I need somebody to hurry up, get over here now. And he's like yelling at them and stuff like that. And so I'm trying to maintain my 2-year-old son. Some neighbors came over and they tried to help assist. She told him that he wasn't breathing, so I'm guessing she didn't know how to do CPR either. She was just trying to help out while he was on the phone. And so the paramedics, they finally came. I was also on dispatch with the 911 still, because like I told her, I thought someone was trying to intrude in. Then I let her know what was actually going on when I came outside, which was seeing this young man by the vehicle and screaming out, hey, my brother's been shot, that sort of thing. And then when the paramedics showed up, they pulled the guy out of the vehicle. They began to do compressions. The passenger, he was a young African male, and he began to he wanted to get into the ambulance, but they refused to let him inside of the ambulance. I guess the police wanted to take him for questioning and things like that. And everyone else was kind of just experiencing all the debris that was going on, the pole, the wire. I'm on the phone with my mom. She can't come and see where I am to get to me because of the safety issue. And so it was just a lot going on. It's pretty traumatic. So I saw the guy getting out of the car. I'm pretty sure that he's probably dead on the scene, but they were doing everything they could to resuscitate him.
And you were telling me kind of about the skid marks and all that. What happened leading up to it? Like, what have you learned about what?
So
from the beginning, like the track of the car.
Yeah.
So he came from this direction right here. From what I'm hearing from my neighbors, there was a young man who's in the junior high school over here, and he's in the band. So he's usually outside practicing with his trombone. It's not my first time hearing him outside practicing. I mean, it's not obvious to do that inside of the house. So he was outside. He said that he saw a vehicle coming from that direction from an apartment complex. There was a shot that went off, and they were going about 80 miles per hour or so coming from that direction. They hit this pole, which knocked down the whole pole, had all types of live wire on the streets, came through this way of my yard, avoided my neighbors luckily, came through this way, skid through here. My vehicle actually helped, the impact of my vehicle helped the car stop. So once it hit my vehicle, the vehicle hit my house, and then he kind of spun where his driver's side was facing towards this way. The nose of the vehicle was facing this way. And so from this angle, you could see the driver unconscious in the driver's side from where I'm standing in my driveway.
What was going through your head?
At first, what was going through my head, I couldn't think was this man gonna die? I definitely didn't think that there was a shooting that was involved with why this happened. I'm thinking to myself, it's Sunday, there's some young guys, maybe somebody had way too much to drink and it got out of control. That's my initial thought process, that maybe this could have been a DUI situation. But when we saw that it was a lot of blood with the driver and the passenger, he was very, very hysterical. He was very, very much panic mode. He was just trying to get some help for his brother or whomever the person was to him. And It was just a lot going on. I was trying to think of my safety, the safety of my son, and de-escalate as much as possible. But it was really hard to think through the situation at the moment. Like, what do I do? Obviously, other than calling 911, which I was already on the phone with 911. So they kind of talked me through that, like, hey, the paramedics are going to be there very soon, and just go from there.
I know you mentioned you were a teacher, so we do know who the kid was. 17-year-old, went to Carter High School, was a football standout.
Wow.
Just thinking of that.
Wow. So I am from this neighborhood. I actually went to South Oak Cliff High School. And yes, I am a teacher. And that's very, very sad to hear. This young man, he was in high school, great football player, that sort of thing. It's just an unfortunate circumstance. Now, I don't know the details on what happened and why it happened or what led up to it. I just know that today I'm living the nightmare of what happened last night that I had nothing to do with at all. That pole right there is a brand new pole. Obviously, both of them were hit too. Both of them were snapped in half.
Ran into him, like the wires that was down. I didn't.
So these are both brand new poles, and Encore, they did a very good job coming out here and fixing it as quickly as possible, especially because of the safety measures that were at hand. Like my mom, she was back there, like maybe close by this white brick house. And it was unsafe for her to even come towards this direction because there was so much live wire. The Dallas Police Department hadn't had an opportunity, and this happens a lot. People fly down through these streets a lot. They hadn't had the opportunity to be able to call the city to let them know to, hey, shut this thing down. So they were really trying to do their best to keep everyone safe. That was the residents safe that live here on this street.
And then one more time, can you just describe what the street looked like?
So the street, these two poles right here are brand new. They were snapped in half. There was these wires that you're seeing right here were all over the ground. So at this point, any wrong step, any towards a wire could have been electrocuted because this was live. I mean, it's electrocuting the neighborhood at this point, but this was live wire. And so we had to wait until Encore came by. Obviously, because the power is out naturally, everyone in the residential area is gonna come outside to figure out, hey, what happened to the power? And so they were just trying to de-escalate the situation as much as possible.
And your car was backed up in the driveway?
Yes, my car was backed up into the driveway. I always back into the driveway. My vehicle is kind of big. I have a Chrysler 200. So I hardly ever park into the garage because it's such a big vehicle. Like, it'll take up the entire garage. There's barely any walk space when you get out of the vehicle. So
the momentum to break two poles and then flip your car around.
She said they were going like 80 miles
yeah,
an hour.
at least. And this is just a testimony from a child. Like I said, a junior high school child who's just outside on his yard like normal, just tracking his trombone. So he's just guessing. He's just guessing that this was 80 miles per hour. And the neighbors, they came and checked in with us just to see if we're okay. The granddaughter, the grandmother of the young boy, I think he may be at school. The way she was speaking, because she was saying, oh, the power came back on around this morning. So I think they went ahead and let him go to school. So when the car came from here, so the car was coming through here, as you can see the tracks right here, all right, and the tracks keep going. I don't know how it spun and missed these little trees, but then the car was faced towards this way. This is where the vehicle was at, right here. So the driver's side was here, passenger side was here. It had to be like it was an SUV type of vehicle, like a Ford Explorer type of vehicle, something like that. It was an SUV. And so that's how it was right here. And so the young man, he's walking around the car, around here, like walking around the vehicle. He's on the phone, he's yelling and that sort of thing. And yeah, And here I'm right where my mom's car is at that moment, at that point in time. It was so much going on. I didn't even realize my car was like this. There was just so much going on. Looked like there's some fluid right here. So this definitely could be where some fluid was coming out. This may actually, now I'm looking at it, this may be the driver's blood, possibly. This could possibly be some of his blood here. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, the car was here. The car was right here, facing that way. Driver's side, passenger side. It didn't take them that long to get here. Maybe a couple of minutes. It didn't take them long to get here at all. They were here quicker than the ambulance, but I think the ambulance they were notified a little bit later than the police was. The police were contacted probably several times from multiple people in the neighborhood, and no one knew what was going on. Our automatic is to get some law enforcement here, but no one knew the situation with the driver, that someone could be hurt to get an ambulance here. So the ambulance came after the police.